Welcome to Headlines Nigeria on Internet Television International. From our studios in Abuja, I am Grace Ukot with a quick summary of news making the headlines in our national dailies. The first paper we'll look at is Next newspaper with the headline, Jonathan commends Babangida. President Goodluck Jonathan has wished Ibrahim Babangida good health and long life as the former military celebrated his 69th birthday on Tuesday. Jonathan swears in first female chief economic advisor. President Goodluck Jonathan yesterday swore in Precious Kasi Garba as the nation's first female chief economic advisor, with a charge to develop blueprints that will help in turning around the economic fortunes of the country. Nigerian Tribune, we see federal government should involve states in negotiating wage increment. Oni. The Ekiti State Governor, Mr. Segun Oni, has called on the federal government to always carry state governments along before negotiating wage increase with workers in the public sector so as to avoid continuous dislocation of state resources. And in Daily Trust newspaper, EFCC storms Plateau Assembly. Following the petition on the alleged misappropriation of about 20 million naira received by Plateau State legislators for constituency projects, operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission yesterday stormed the Plateau House of Assembly. Daily Trust newspaper, SSS displays rocket launchers, grenades bound for Plateau, Taraba. The State Security Service yesterday in Maiduguri paraded Jos and Taraba bound suspects with their deadly weapons, including rocket launchers, grenades, and dozens of AK-47 rifles. The suspects were also found with 4.8 million naira concealed in the boot of a Mercedes-Benz they were traveling in. And moving over to Politics Punch newspaper, 2011 elections under threat, says INEC. The Independent National Electoral Commission on Wednesday said that despite the National Assembly's approval of 87.7 billion naira for it to prosecute the 2011 general elections, there were serious challenges against the successful conduct of the poll. Northern Group plans protest against IBB Atiku Buhari. Vanguard newspaper. The decision of former President Ibrahim Babangida, former head of state, General Muhammadu Buhari, and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to contest the 2011 presidential election is not enjoying the full backing of the North, as a northern-based group, Arewa Progressive Union, is said to be mobilizing the entire North against these leaders, who they described as expired leaders. This day newspaper reports Chiroma. If Jonathan emerges, zoning is dead. Former Minister of Finance and a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, Malam Adamu Chiroma, has said zoning would be a thing of the past should President Goodluck Jonathan emerge as the party's flag bearer in the 2011 election. And moving over to Guardian newspaper, fresh leadership crisis rocks ANPP PDP. Across the broad spectrum of Nigerian political parties, the quest for internal democracy is still intense. The All Nigeria People's Party and the ruling People's Democratic Party seem to be hard hit by the current struggle of aggrieved members who want adherence to due process in the appointment of national officers and dissolution of state executive committees. And business news, Next newspaper, NITEL workers to disrupt independence anniversary. A group of workers under the rather nebulous name Combative Association of NITEL and MTEL Workers, in a letter addressed to embassies and high commissions in Nigeria, has threatened to disrupt the 50th independence anniversary celebrations if the federal government failed to settle the salary arrears before then. Nigerian Forex reserves $38.2 billion. It's also seen in the same newspaper. Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves rose around 3% to $38.2 billion by mid-August from $37.1 billion at the end of last month, the central bank said on Wednesday. Punch newspaper, insurance capital base hits 500 billion naira, NICOM. The Commissioner for Insurance, Mr. Fola Daniel, said in Lagos on Wednesday that the capital base of insurance operators had risen to 500 billion naira. He said the improved capital base was one of the achievements recorded as a result of the ongoing reforms in the industry. New regime, banks may sell non-core banking businesses, CBN. Banks may sell off their non-core banking businesses or regroup them under Merchant Banking before applying for new licenses under the new banking model, the Central Bank of Nigeria has said. And in sports news, Punch newspaper, don't judge Siasia with Heartland outing issue. Crown FC coach Godfrey Esu says Heartland's performance in the 2010 CAF Champions League should not be used as a yardstick to judge Samson Siasia's competence in coaching the Super Eagles. Delhi 2010, boxers to tour Cuba. Nigerian boxers for the Commonwealth Games in New Delhi in October may undertake a month training tour of Cuba before the competition, an official of the Nigerian Boxing Federation has said. And in next newspaper, West Brom manager bangs on Odemwingie. Newly signed Nigerian striker Osaze Odemwingie has been tipped by his new boss at West Bromwich Albion to help improve the fortunes of the newly promoted Premier League club. Football Federation meets over Siasia elections. The Nigeria Football Federation will today decide conditions and emoluments for a new coach for the Super Eagles when the board meets in Abuja to discuss issues regarding the Federation elections, which are enmeshed in controversies. And with these stories, we wrap up today's edition of the program. Do have a lovely day and thanks for logging on.